What's going on, guys? So I'm going to be explaining to you how I made my remix for All Night by Afrojack featuring Ali Brooke. If you guys haven't listened to it, here it is. So yeah, that's the remix I did. That was the drop for it. But I'm going to be going in depth today how I made it. And my previous video I talked about how I made, or me and my brother Reverso made Find You, which was the first track I'm pretty sure we both ever released. So if you haven't watched that or listened to it, it will be in the description down below. But yeah, I'm going to start with the intro and then go into the break and then the build up and then the drop. So what I first did, I downloaded the stems, and then usually when I do remix competitions or any sort of remix, I literally just take the vocal, and it's nothing, it was already processed, so but I just put EQ on it, some more reverb, delay, fruity balance for an automation, and another EQ is getting rid of the highs and some of the lows, and then another balance for automation. And then I added some harmony to it, or just I lowered it by 12 semitones, and that is use Alter Boy. This format went all the way down and pitch, and then I quantized it. I was gonna use this robot, but quantized it sounds a bit better. And then I also EQ'd it. Then I added another one, 12 semitones up, use manipulator this time, pitch 12, format 12, and then EQ to get rid of the lows, and then some of those annoying really high pitched frequencies, and then a little bit stereo and pan to the left a little bit. And then for the starting chords, it's nothing too crazy, it's very simple. It's just this with EQ and Valhalla Vintage Verb, which are both EQ'd and automated for when the track goes on. So those are the chords. I'll show you that MIDI. It's just nothing too crazy. It's a simple chord progression. And then I'll need these. And then I also added guitar, just a guitar pluck sample I found somewhere. I forgot, it was a while ago. And then with that, EQ'd, stereo enhancer, and OTT, so make it stand out a bit more, so you can hear the difference. And after that, I just added a lot of atmosphere. I use this pretty much in every single track. Cowbell atmosphere, I love cowbells, I don't know why. And then just transitions, reverb, just white noise essentially. And then for start, this is the lead reversed, and an echo boy I'm pretty sure I put on it. And then that's pretty much everything for the break, or the intro, sorry. And then I have the clock. I'm pretty sure it's panning with Panman, yeah. So I use Panman. Just panning back and forth between left and right, give a nice effect, instead of just having it right in the middle. Alright, and then for the break, it's pretty much the same thing, literally. I added percussion, so I added shakers, and then a church clap, and then rhythm break I made a while ago. This fitted really nicely with the track in my opinion, and more atmosphere. like Tom and James sample pack. And then more atmosphere, impact, transition, and for the chords, I added more just to fill up the mix, essentially, give it a nice feel. Where's that from? 16 Nexus. It's Angel's Harp. And then for processing wise, it's literally nothing. Stereo enhancer, and then EQ, I think. EQ just to get rid of the low frequencies, and then just to have a little bit of bass, and then kickstart. But that's automated for the build-up, I think. And then just a plug type of chord, which is elation plug. I use this a lot. It's a beautiful plug, in my opinion. So it just follows the same chord progression, and then this is same thing, but the reverb is down, and it's the cutoff went up, and then right back to normal. Guitar plucks are still continued, and then I didn't want to put like a normal bass line into it. I could have, just following this bass line right here, G sharp, F, C, A sharp, and then just following that chord progression. But I felt like, for example, I had 3 versions of this, of not the drop, but the break and the intro and like everything but the drop, and just to figure out which one fit best with the drop. And I want to go with something more, I used to say funky, or not as whatever, I can't even think of the word. But yeah, so the bass line and just normal chord progression with like 4, like one, like just, for example, this before was just like this. The chord progression just went like that, right? 1 da 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 da. So 1 2 3 4. So 4 beats each, right? That's how I went before, but I thought that didn't really fit the vibe I was going for. So it didn't really fit the drop and the whole feel. So I just cut it up and then made that nice rhythm to it. The rhythm also matches the drop essentially. So yeah, that's the break. And yeah, sorry, the 808. Did the 808. Ooh. Use the 808 instead of a bass line. I just felt like it's unique, you know? It's different. And it sounded really sick, so that's why I did it. If it sounds good, then leave it. If it doesn't sound good, take it out. There's no rules in music, that's why I love it. For the build-up, it's the exact same thing. I continued everything. Cutoff went up, EQ. For the build-up, let me see what I do. I use Endless Smile. I'm pretty sure everyone uses Endless Smile. I also bring down the volume with the balancer on the master chain. So I do that. I usually always bring down by 3 dB. I don't know, just the number 3, I don't know. And then I also, it's very minimal There's not crazy white noise, there's not crazy uplifters and all this stuff. It's really just, I use one uplifter, a long sweep, and I'm panning it to the rhythm of the snare. Which is on the off beats, it sounds like, essentially. And then I also added a kick, matching the snare beat. What else do I do? And then I also do a stereo enhancer. I switch it to mono. Right here, I bring it to mono. Going up, you can do that by automating it if you don't know how to automate stuff like that. And oh, my bad here. FL Studios, just go here, move it a little bit, tools, last tweaked, and then create automation clip. So that's usually what I do for my build-ups. And then usually, like, it's depending on the track, it's a lot more hectic and more energetic for the build-up. But since the drop hits a lot, like, hits different, and it's a different type of drop in my opinion from what I usually do, I want it to be a little bit more relaxed with the build-up. Right there. And then let me just check this is recording still. Alright, sweet. And then let's go for the drop. So that's the drop. So to start with, I'm gonna start with the kick. because why not? I probably went through like 4 different kicks. I was really I didn't know what kick to use. It sounds like funny, or it sounds stupid, but literally the kick is like, can make a huge difference in your drop, I'm telling you right now. So I figured out this kick, Cashmere. It was a C sharp, pitched it down 1 to a C, because that's the key I'm in. C minor, I think. I don't know. I think it's C major. I don't know. I forgot. I think it's C minor of the song. But so yeah, percussion. Simple claps and then drop clap, coming every off and on, matching the beat, and then outside of the top kick, and then let's see, that's percussion. That's the simple percussion I started with. I'm gonna move on to the lead, which I have to, 1 second. Let me find this. I don't know shortcuts enough. Nope. Where is it at? Send a smile. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So. So this is the main lead. This is the melody I thought of in my head first. It's very simple. It's not too many layers. It could have literally been like 4 layers, like just these 5 actually, but I wanted to add a few more. So I start off with this one, Brooks lead, and then for the processing, just OTT, Sound Godizer, EQ, and Dimension Expander. I use Dimension Expander like a lot, like too much, but it works, right? So if it works, then it's whatever. Sounds good, it works. Then I'm gonna use it. Essentially all it does, I'll show you. Kind of widens it in the stereo field, makes it a bit wider. I don't use it on all my leads, only certain ones I want to stand a little bit more. And then this one, very rough, very in the middle. OTT, EQ, literally for quick processing is just EQ, OTT, and Sound Godizer. Serum, it's a pluck. Spire. Another Spire. Has a lot more depth to it. There's a lot of white noise in it, but it adds a lot more depth in my opinion. Some Nexus. Pluck Culture. And then another Nexus. Serum. Connor Style. And then another Serum. Connor Magic Pluck, don't kill me. So yeah. I didn't have to use this one, or this one, but I'll show you. They still sounded good without them, but I just added that little crisp, a little punch that needed, like the cherry on the top, in my opinion. So that was that. So let me eat that. Let me get that. Fala hula hula. I don't know what it is. Yeah. And then I control the reverb, automated it. So that's the lead, and then chords, which was the most important part in this drop. As you can see, I automated the cutoff filter because it added a nice effect. Instead of just leaving it really dry, wanted to move a bit more, have a bit more groove to it. So I added the cutoff filter to it. Piano, Like I said, OTT EQ for quick processing is nothing special. Some stereo enhancer. Let's go through what I used. True pianos. You always use this. I tweaked it a little bit just to get it hit a bit harder and get a little reverb. Beat under control, vandalism. This chord I got from, I saw this in the Ellis video about his drop chords, and I tweaked it a lot and just made it like kind of my own essentially. With a lot of rooting and stuff, and then the voicing it has that nice vibrato to it. Silent One, the most well-known drop chord or chord, ARP 5th. What is it? ARP 5th Prophet, and another Silent One. And then that's, that's rooted to here. Oh, I should have named this for the leads. I'll show you that just now. But OTT stereo enhancer that I turned off, I don't know why. EQ, tape stop that I don't think I used. Another EQ, G clip, compressor, and then kickstart. One second. 26. So that's the main bus for the leads. OTT EQ, another EQ, sound godizer, reverb, EQ, fruity balance, G clip, compressor, and then kickstart or sidechain. And this is the exact same chord progression as the chord progression in the break. Just I think it's a different rhythm. And then the bass. Let me turn that shit up. The bass is fairly simple. There's not too many layers. Like I said, I overdo it on the layers, to be honest. I'm gonna try to get better at that because I don't like layering that much. I'm trying to just get to like that one lead or 1 to 3 lead sound, just like a lot of processing and stuff, instead of destroying my CPU with a whole bunch of different plugins. So, but for basses, it's kind of hard in my opinion. So, started with the sub, EQ, distortion, another EQ, and then sidechain, all the way on mono. I always put my sub bass on mono, and then Connor Ross bass 2 on Silent One. Felt like this was a very nice layer to add. Added a lot of bounce to it. Very minimal with the processing. Just distortion, OTT, another distortion, EQ. I find every time I distort, I want to EQ. Because if I just distort, OTT, then EQ, it'll sound really bad. So if you want to distort something, distort it, do add something else, and EQ. Make sure you always EQ if you're going to distort stuff. And then another Silent One. And this one, I do this a lot with my basses. I suggest you do it too. It's mid and I think it's side EQ. I think that's what it's called, or stereo. Sorry, yeah, mid or side EQing. Pro EQ3. Essentially, I'm just getting rid of the mids. Rubbing the back out. You hear the mids. Now, you're just in the mids, so it's more on the sides. It's a great way to make your bass sound, your bass line sound a lot better. And the mix, oh my bad, and then serum. I don't know why it sounds like that. I have no idea why it sounds like that. What the fuck? I think this is too low. Yeah, I don't know why it sounds like that. It's probably something in the, there's an automation holding it down. I couldn't tell you, but whatever. And then talks to Biohazard. It's the one Brooks uses. I saw in his masterclass, so I've been using it. It's a nice addition for a layer for the bass. I always use it. It has that nice little punch and that tick. You hear that tick at the beginning? I love that. Spire. Very distorted. Hans Dampf. I don't know, it's from a sample pack or a preset pack. Very distorted, so just EQ'd it. And then finally, Mesto bass, very distorted, with Camel Crusher and EQ to control it. And then it's a little bit mono, same with this one, a little bit mono. And that's all the bass is. And for the bus for the basses, EQ for automation, and then sidechain. So it's nothing special. But like where everything comes into play is the percussion and the ear candy, right? Because let's say I do this, right? So I have that boom. I'm gonna get rid of all the ear candy I did. That's essentially ear candy. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what else I did. I know it's not really ear candy, but nah, I'll leave it. So that's what it sounds like. And then when I add everything in, like that. That's just matching the bass line really off for the start. And without that, it adds that a little bit of a punch to that offbeat. So, alright, it's that one, and I added a Brooks clip and something else in this. So it's just all about filling up the gaps and like making it unique and adding ear candy to make it sound cool and memorable and not boring, essentially, you know what I mean? Like this. Just reversed it. I don't even know what that is. It sounded good, so I was like, okay, sick. I'll go through them one by one. That's just reverb reversed. If you don't know how to do that, all it is you're taking this lead right here, so that note, and then you're gonna put that here. I do this, drag that, highlight it like that, or select it, and then Edison, just like that. And then I'm not gonna do it, but you press on play, and then when you press record, you press play. Before, remove the kickstart to just mute the kickstart so there's no sidechain, and add a shit ton of reverb, and then it'll record the reverb, and then you're gonna bounce it by doing this. You can just press this button right here and then drag it, drop it, and then it'll look like that. Well, it won't look like that, and then you press it. Let me see. It'll look like that, and then just press reverse. I usually normalize it for some reason, and then you can like edit it like that a little bit. I don't usually do that. And then add it to a bus again, and then I just add a lot more reverb, OTT, for some reason, just to stand it a little bit more. And then I automate the volume like that, and then right click the right little circle and put wave, bring that down, and then the middle circle, just drag it up and down. You can make a little wave thing right like that. That's how you do that type of reverb effect. And then yeah, and for the chord hit, I added this robot. I got this from where'd I get it from? An FLP a while back ago. I think it's from FLP Nation. It sounded really sick under the chord, under this. It added a nice effect to it, and a nice little vibe. I loved it, so I had to use it. And I automated the volume though, so it goes away. So, and then I also added this. Just that. Like I said, just filling up the gaps, and and this is just a little, what is it? Just snare hit, adding rhythm. But like together it just works, right? If you just hear, you just meet this and that. Alright, and then this is serum, and then silent. no processing, and just E to OTT, sound condenser, EQ, distortion, and then sidechain. And then for the balance, for the automation, I cut off the volume for the lead. Lead. My bad, someone called me. I had to restart that. Alright. Where was I? So yeah. Just the volume cut off. So the lead's not playing. There's no reverb, there's no sound. And there's no sound at all coming from the bass, lead, or chords. So this can come in a lot cleaner, a lot harder. I'm just gonna play the percussion for you. See, just going towards the rhythm and all like the gaps in the lead, the bass, and chords and everything like that. The majority of this is based in the leads. So it really matches the bass, right? It's nothing special. It's just I thought of the melody. I wanted to go for something different. And then for the pre-drop, it's just that cashmere sample, and then the second break right here, and then it goes into second break. I want to go for kind of a future bass type of vibe, or whatever you want to call that. Instead of going 4 on the floor, just do this with percussion, Aiden's clap snare, dub snare, and then a cymatic snare, and then a little of this thing, and then the chords are the same. Guitar plucks come back in, atmosphere, everything continues literally. And then for the pre, I wanted the second drop to be a little bit different essentially. So what I did was instead of just changing like the beginning of the drop, because I couldn't really think of an idea. Well, I didn't really. I was getting lazy. It was getting late. It was like my 9th hour working on this in a row. I just sat in my laptop and just pushed a whole bunch of ideas in so I can get into the contest, and that's literally what I came up. This is what I came up with. So, but instead of figuring out a way to, like for example, I could have started this differently. Literally just remove the kick for the first 4. And then filter, boom, and then cut the bass comes back in, something like that, you know? It's nice, simple, but... Oh, and then also I have this. Just have a bit more of a hit. That's just cut up from the vocal, saying right here. It's not that one. It's from here. It's when you drag it. Right there. Just remove that. And then yeah, so that's the drop stays the same. There's nothing really new. Oh, the second part though, for the first drop and second part, added a whistle. And also hi-hats, rides, and this violin on EQ. Playing the key note or the root note, and then that goes into the outro. It just plays the same thing under the vocal, and then that's going left and right, and that's also in the second part of the drop too, for first and second. But instead of going left and right panning, just in the middle. very low. You can't really hear it unless you know it's there. And then I just cut that part up. I don't know why. So that's the project. It's nothing too crazy. My master chain, I bounce it, then I master. Oh, when I do start tracks, so I always put a limiter on it around 5.25 or whatever I decide to go on, just to give it a boost, as you would say. What else do I do? No, man, that's pretty much the track. That's all I did. Nothing too crazy. It's a very simple track. It's just I had the idea, and yeah. So hopefully you guys learned something from it. I'm gonna be posting a lot more soon. Try posting at least 1 or 2 videos a week. There's gonna be a lot more music coming out soon because of the whole virus thing, staying inside, can't go outside. So I'm cooped up in my house, not really much to do besides Xbox and make music, so that's fine with me. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Or if you guys want me to release this FLP, I might, nah. I'll release it possibly, or I might just make a sample pack from it and release that instead, because I don't know. Let me guys know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. What else? For the master chain, it's on a separate project, but all I do is EQ like this. Listen to the drop, get rid of like those harsh frequencies that are not needed. Usually put that around there. OTT sometimes, limiter, ozone 8, compression, and PSP vintage warmer. Sometimes, not all the time. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Guys, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll answer them. If you guys haven't already, go listen to this track on SoundCloud. If you guys really like it, then please go vote for me on the Spinnin Competition. So hopefully you guys liked it. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.